Hello, vinyl community. Wow, what a day. um, Real quick backstory. I was supposed to go hang out with my brother for his birthday. His birthday is actually in a couple days, but it just worked out that I had today off, he had today off. So it was my big plan to go hang out with him for his birthday. I was about to head out the door when he told me that he had other plans for the evening. So, he mentioned maybe we should reschedule. So I said, okay, we can reschedule. But I decided to head out that direction anyway. Because a few weeks ago, my boss told me about the Goodwill there, and he said he saw a Black Sabbath album there. So I figured, maybe they have a much different selection than the Goodwills here. Well, the sad thing is they don't. Yeah, overall, their selection was actually worse than the Goodwills here. But I did manage to find some good stuff. And being in that neck of the woods, which also happens to be the neck of the woods of Rose Sanchez, well, that's her general area, San Bernardino County, because this was actually in Redlands, California. Yeah, so since I was out there at the Goodwill anyway, and I found some stuff where I was like, well, I ended up also going to Cat's Alley, which I had been wanting to go to for quite some time, because they're more of a record shop. In fact, they are a record shop. Although they advertise themselves as records and books, but it's almost all records, actually, so it was a very good visit. Alright. Whew. Alright, so at Goodwill. Oh, first, before I get into the records I found, what you're listening to right now in the background is one of the most amazing websites you will ever encounter. If you're at all into white noise or background sounds or tones for meditation, anything like that, definitely check out mynoise.net. mynoise.net. And apparently they have an app also. I want to say it's also called My Noise. I could be wrong. Yeah, anyway, go to mynoise.net. It's amazing. So right now we're listening to the, what is it? Tibetan Choir, which actually involves a lot of throat singing. Basically, pretty much all the sounds you're hearing, all the different sounds you're hearing, are them emoting sound from their throats. It's amazing. I can do a little bit. I'm not gonna embarrass myself, but I can do a little bit of it, and it's something I'm practicing, and I hope to kind of weave it into my own music. But what you hear right now, I am nowhere near that good. I mean, these are people that have been doing it their whole lives, and it's just something I've discovered in the last few years. Anyway, alright, so let's get down to it. Originally at Goodwill, at first I was very disappointed. I was thinking, you know what, most of this is garbage. I mean, I picked out a few just regular albums, but then I stumbled upon probably 10 classical music box sets. I believe they were put out by Time Life, still sealed, for $5.99 each. Oh man, oh man, oh man. That was tempting, and that would have completely wiped out my non-existent budget. So I told myself, I'll just get, the regular LPs for now. I'll go check out Cat's Alley. If that ends up being a bust, then I'll go back and pick out a few of the box sets. I didn't go back to Goodwill, but in my visit there, I did pick up some good stuff. Although it's going to look pretty lame in comparison with what I picked up at Cat's Alley. But so let's just go through these quickly. A big fan of both classical music and international music, so the blue stickers were actually half off, so it was 99 cents instead of $1.99. James Galway performing Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. My wife is going to like this one. She loves The Four Seasons. That was actually a favorite of her dad's. So, yeah. Another James Galway, The Magic Flute of James Galway, doing more classical pieces. Now, he was a member of the Chieftains, so, you know, classical music is a little different from what I know him for. So, so I'm glad to pick these up. Both those were $1 each. Now we're getting into the interesting stuff. This one, I have no idea. It appears to be a German album. Most of the writing on it, I believe, is German. But it's just crazy. There's some kind of brass ensemble, but as you can see, it's basically all in German. Listen to that. That's just... that just blows my mind. MyNoise.net. Check that out, man. Oh, they have so many sounds to choose from, you won't believe it. MyNoise.net. Anyway, back to this. So, whatever this is, and then hot dogs. So, it's just one of those, I mean, I had to pick it up. It was just too off the wall and German. So, oh man. Again, in the direction of, you know, international music, for $1.99, this looked interesting. Some trying to, I don't know, I don't see a country mentioned offhand, but it's Spanish music. Yeah. A nice addition to my international music collection. And also in that same vein is some Spanish guitar. This one actually has some really nice packaging. I'm not gonna take it out because I don't want to spend too much time on these Goodwill records. I have a lot of Cat's Alley records to show you. And then also for $1, now this one, the sleeve is very beat up. But the vinyl was surprisingly good. And this is one of the ones that I'm pretty sure I don't have, of Bill Cosby. 200 miles per hour. I'm pretty sure I don't have this one. So, again, I'm collecting not only Bill Cosby specifically, but also stand-up comedy kind of in general. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Alright, so that was it for Goodwill. I was happy with those purchases. I still regret leaving all those still sealed classical box sets behind. But I'm sure they'll find a good home, and I'm glad I saved the money for Cat's Alley. Because if I didn't save the money for Cat's Alley, I would have been very upset with myself. Yeah. So it's Cat's Alley. I briefly spoke to the owner. He's a real nice guy. They're in Redlands, California. Wow. first of all, they have a good selection of 50-cent records, which I went through a little bit, but I saw it was a lot of Goodwill type stuff, but much cheaper, obviously. So then I went to another section and discovered a bunch of $2 LPs. So that's where I really went to town. Yeah. And I briefly spoke with the owner because I picked out, I think, 21 records. And, you know, that was going to be like $42. And, well, originally I was speaking to his son, Patrick, and I said, is there any way we can get these as close to $30 as possible? And so he said, well, to go down that much, I'll have to get the owner, which at that time I didn't realize the owner was his dad. But so his dad came out and he pulled Pawn Stars on me, and he said, well, could you do 41? You know, down from 42. And then he said that, you know, he watches Pawn Stars, and so he sees how they haggle. And, you know, I kind of laughed it off, and then he said 35, and I said, you know, I can do 35. That is fantastic. I mean, ideally, I would have gotten even further down, like to 30, but I mean that's like more than 25% off. So as it was, he was very, very generous, and I highly recommend Cat's Alley because of that. If you're anywhere near Redlands, definitely check them out. Alright, so let's get down to it. Oh man, some good stuff. And I was able to pick up a lot of stuff that is not in my collection. Some of it, I actively look out for. They're not necessarily grails. I don't think. In fact, I didn't pick up any grails. I'm trying to use that term a little more conservatively now. But I got some good stuff, and then also some stuff that just blind purchases that I just had to pick up. So, all right, first, one of my favorite bands is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, and I have surprisingly few albums by them. So this is Electric Light Orchestra 2. So I didn't. Some of these records I checked on AllMusic.com to see like how they were rated and if there were better albums that I should look for instead and blah blah blah. But ELO, I'll pick up anything by them. All right, this is a band I'm familiar with their name, but other than that, no idea. Yeah. I mean, I researched it, and I want to say they're hard rock, but offhand I honestly don't remember. But yeah, this is supposed to be a good album. So that was Blackfoot Marauder. Yes. So these would have been $2 each, but they ended up being a little bit less. Alright, for my comedy collection, Billy Crystal, Marvelous. Oh, that's good. There he is playing Sammy Davis Jr. That is awesome. So he has his different characters there. I like him. Alright, I couldn't remember if I had this one. I'm pretty sure I don't, but again, one of my favorite bands, Cheap Trick, Next Position Please. Very happy to pick that up. This one is supposed to be very highly rated on AllMusic.com, and no idea what it is. but I figured I'd pick it up. It's spelled Bruce Cockburn, but right here it says pronounced Coburn. So we'll say Bruce Coburn. And that is an awesome cover. I love that. That's awesome. So this is Stealing Fire. Now, I'm not... I mean, I've totally heard of this band, but I don't know that I've necessarily heard anything by them, at least not to my knowledge. But Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. This is supposed to be one of their best, if not their best album. So I think this one, simply because of the very high rating on AllMusic.com, I think I allowed for some minor scratches on it. A lot of these records, yeah, it has some minor scratches. A lot of these records at Cat's Alley are very, very clean, surprisingly so. But some have some fine scratches, and I just ran into a few that I had to reject based on scratches. Alright, here, this is a complete blind purchase. I couldn't even find much information on them, other than that it's pop rock, but that's kind of obvious by by their hairstyles there. Yeah, but Mummy Calls, and I guess it's self-titled, so if anybody knows anything about them, let me know. Now, anytime I see what appears, and I say appears because I really have no idea, but anytime I see anything that appears to be music from Africa, I pick it up, and that's happened very, very rarely. I think only once before, actually. But when I saw the instrument on the cover of this, I was like, whoa, I have to get that. So it's Mandingo. New World Power. Look at that instrument he is holding. I have no idea what that is, but I sure as hell want to hear it. I love international music, and if this instrument sounds anything like it looks, it's gonna blow me away. So very, very happy to find something like this. Alright. Now this one, originally I was kind of on the fence about it, only because, I mean, I had heard of them, but I couldn't remember, you know, their background or anything. But Big Audio Dynamite, and then upon doing research, it's one of the members of the Clash, and it said that they basically have punk and reggae and some other influences. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll pick that up. I'm sure I've heard music by them. I know I have, but this is supposed to be a decently rated album, I believe. Another blind purchase, but it just looked interesting to me. Yeah, Code Blue. It appears to be self-titled. It's from... I think it's 1980. Code Blue, 1980. Again, if anyone's heard of them, let me know what you think. I do have a small collection of John Cougar Mellencamp albums. This is the Lonesome Jubilee. This is from his John Cougar Mellencamp days, as opposed to John Cougar or John Mellencamp. Which I file them all together, obviously, because, I mean, you don't want to scatter your records in all kinds of crazy places. But yeah, very pleased to pick this up. I did see what I'm pretty sure is his first album. I want to say from 1979. And there's a very, very, very young-looking John Cougar Mellencamp on the cover. I think he was, at that point he was going by John Cougar, and my understanding of the story is that the record label thought he'd be more an easier sell to the public as John Cougar rather than John Mellencamp. So, and then he transitioned. Wow, you know the story. Come on. All right, we're over 20 minutes. I gotta hurry. All right, I'm pretty sure. Well, this is either my first or second Adam Ant album, Strip. I don't recognize any of these songs as his big hits, but this is from 1983. Yeah, happy to pick it up though for less than $2. Shoot, yeah. Oh yes, 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 yes. I know there's several members of the vinyl community that are pretty big. I want to say Rob Clark is one of them that are pretty big on Kate Bush. So this is the kick inside. It is a cutout, but is still sealed. Nice, nice. So this is my first Kate Bush record. I'm so happy to add her to my collection. So happy. All right, now this next one is interesting. It appears to be a solo album of Paul Kantner from Jefferson Airplane. So I'm very interested to hear. Huh. Now it says Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra. Oh, I see. Paul Kantner presents the Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra. Let me close the Facebook window there because it's making funny sounds. Interrupting my little video here. Anyway, yeah, so apparently Grace Slick is involved in this as well. And China Kantner. I believe... I don't know if that's... Is that their daughter together, or... I don't know. I'm not gonna... I have to refrain from sounding too stupid, you know? But this looks very interesting. For less than $2, yeah. Alright, how could I not get this? Crocus, the Blitz. Plus it has this cool sticker. How old is your needle? Warren Needles Ruin Records. A little sales ploy there to get you to buy a new needle for your record. Then we have some Genesis 3 Sides Live. I did look for Seconds Out? I think it was Seconds Out. The double live LP that I picked up a while back and discovered there was only one record in there. So I was looking for that one, but I was happy to find this in the $2 bin. That's for sure. Yeah. And on the inside, you can't see, they have a little sticker. Originally, this sticker is on the outside of the record, and it has the regular price, which for this one was $5. And then at some point, they move it to the $2 bin. So, yeah. Glad to pick up some Genesis. And Genesis is one of those bands that live, I think they're very consistent. I could be wrong, but some Grand Funk Railroad. Originally, had another one of their records set aside, but then I looked on AllMusic, and I think it was rated like 2 or 2.5 stars. I forget what album it was. It's the one with them laying in the coffins. If you're familiar with that. But this one had a higher rating. I think it was 3 stars. So I was like, okay, 3 stars I can do. This one is supposed to be a very, very highly rated album. Arlo Guthrie, Amigo. I believe on AllMusic.com they have this rated as 4.5 stars out of 5, and I believe they had this as his best album, if not one of his best. Yeah. So the oldest son of Woody Guthrie, Arlo Guthrie. I don't know that I've heard a lot of his music, so it'll be interesting. But very glad to pick that up in good condition. All right. People have definitely shown this this artist in the vinyl community, Steve Hillage. This marks my first Steve Hillage album. So Fish Rising. I think someone showed this recently. I could be wrong. A complete blind purchase. I couldn't even find any information on them. Housecoat Project. Girl Fiend. Not girlfriend, but Girl Fiend. And this is on Subterranean Records. So, you know, at less than $2 a pop, you can afford to, you know, experiment a little and try out new things. Oh, now this is a live album, a 1 LP live album, which I think is even worse than a 2 LP live album because, yeah, obviously it's not the whole concert. But yeah, when you can pick up this artist for $2, this is the last record, by the way. But you can pick up this artist for $2 or less. Just do it. Donovan, one of my all-time favorite singers. Donovan. Oh man, so happy, so happy. Yeah, really, I spent more today than I should have, but yeah, I just I'm such an addict. Again, this background music or background sound, if you will, is by mynoise.net, mynoise.net, and it's the Tibetan choir. Oh man, what can I say about it? What can I say about it? Well, it's been a great day. I hope you're having a good day too. And happy birthday to my brother, even though, you know, I probably won't see you for your birthday now. He's not watching anyway. Alright, thanks for watching.